Well, that certainly felt a lot better than yesterday. You know, we were coming in, expectations were a bit tempered today. Braemar, first start, didn't qualify, qualified 2 weeks ago. So first start into a deep end of the pool. You know, these were horses that showed big miles. I didn't know how he'd be. You know, the 56 qualifier didn't wow me. That's why he didn't come here last week. You know, we were looking for that Flamborough card at Mohawk on the Sunday would have fit him like a glove. Or I thought it would have. But today, man, he raced good. I know my wife, God bless her heart, she says to me, why did you move him? Did you start with me? You know, I moved him in the last turn. He got a little out of gear, and I said to Tim, you know, his shoes are 2.5, 3 weeks old. They're full sweat shoes. For those of you that horsemen out there, you know what I'm talking about. They're full sweat shoes and don't have a lot of grab. And I really think when I asked him for more in the last turn, he maybe slipped a little bit and got out of gear, and that's what we saw happen with in the last turn. You saw him put a couple of steps in, just lost a little bit. I mean, horse paced 53-1. To say he paced 53-1 and really wasn't awesome around the last turn, what's that say about him? It's a big mile. 53-1, 28 and a piece on the end of it. Raced really, really well. You know, throw a couple more starts like that together. Now, the track was fast today, goes without saying, but throw a couple of those miles together, man, you might have a decent 3-year-old, right? So Braemar did very well today. To finish 5th. I drove a horse for Tim later on. She was okay. And then Sweet Ambitions. Wow, where the hell did that come from? Man, oh man. You just never know, right? This is 2 horses now. Perfect record. Well, now he hasn't won in 56, but I think very highly of him. A perfect record wowed me. Now Sweet Ambitions come out of nowhere. Sweet Ambitions come out of nowhere to, you know, to throw an eye-popping for her. You know, eye-popping mile in 56-1. Where the hell did that come from? Last quarter at 29, but just the way she did it, the 8-hole. You know, I'm thinking of myself behind the gate. There's no speed on the inside of me. I know this filly can leave. We've never really asked her to. Never really been good enough to really two-move her or power drive her off the gate. But I didn't come here to, you know, to waltz around. This wasn't a dance. I came here to race. And I let her bounce out of there. Man, she get out of there good. I knew the 7 horse was 5-2. I was in a good spot. We're surrounded by horses I wanted to follow. And then we were lucky enough to sneak out down the backstretch, getting into the last turn. We were able to sneak out. And we were able to sneak out and get good cover in the last turn. And man, she finished up strong. She could have been third. I mean, like, yeah, that's a pretty good mile. Like 56-4 for Sweet Ambitions. That's a hell of a mile. For her to run down 2 horses in 56-1, 29 flat on the end of it after a 28-second first quarter, that is a gigantic mile for Sweet Ambitions. Good for her. You just never know, right? So, I mean, very, very happy. Very, very happy to, you know, to win with her. With everything going on the last week, I just feel tired. You know, when I'm not racing, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't use the word overwhelmed, but it's a grind. You know, it's a real grind to try and get horses. Now, So Admirable was the next one that couldn't race this week because she's 41 days since she qualified. Got quarter crack, had to give her a couple of weeks. Took our time, trained her up, brought her over here. Here, meaning the U.S. Got a message from Mark Beckwith. New York's 30 days now. Your filly's at 41. We're going to have to qualify her and Broadway roll on Tuesday. Okay, go ahead. It hasn't been a seamless transition to the U.S., but no real issues. You know, the Time Houdini thing was just... there's a big part of me that thinks that wasn't a bit. For those of you who don't know, Time Houdini shipped in because we got his health papers ready as soon as we could. We got him on the first truck available. We sent him to Michigan, but because he's a big stud, he was acting like a stud around other horses, and they tranquilized him to ship. You had to race the next day. You can't tranquilize him the day before you race him. You had to scratch him. But I would much rather, you know, have to make a difficult call to Ed Safety and say, Mr. Safety, you know, we had to scratch your horse because he was tranquilized, rather than call Mr. Safety and say, horse acted up shipping and got his leg over the partition and hurt himself. So it's not the end of the world. Time Houdini's fine. He'll be fine next week. Had to qualify off Broadway. We know our Broadway roll. We knew that. Had to qualify. Now I didn't know. We know now. We had to qualify White Tiger. Had to qualify So Admirable. Pulled in here today. I got Braemar, long odds, 6-1, but that was generous. And Sweet Ambitions, 20-1 morning line, or 15 or 20-1 morning line, way out the outside of the gate. What are you going to do with that? You know, luckily I called an audible. The voices in my head won out, leaving the gate, and I let it rock out of there. But it's coming, right? It's coming. And, you know, for those of you that are Ontario owners that own Ontario horses, you know, I know what you're going through, and you know what I'm going through. This is an incredibly difficult thing we're going through together right now. Incredibly difficult. And I see the people upset. See, even some people angry. I had some people attack me on social media because I went to Ohio, got a vaccine, and theoretically, I am coming home next week. Well, God knows what you're bringing with you. The only thing I should bring with me is extra vaccines if I could. But that's the type of people you're going to get online. Idiots, right? It's free for everyone. It's, you know, say what you want. But I feel terrible for the, you know, you have a 6-horse stable that's good enough to race at Flamborough, London. Province is full of them. You can't come to Northfield. You're going to get ripped apart. You can't go to the Meadows, right? Sweet Ambitions get in today because she's a Pennsylvania bred filly. I looked at they had 2 maiden trots today. Every one of the horses were Pennsylvania owned or bred. That's why Perfect Record didn't get in today. That's why we ended up sending him to New York. This transition is not seamless. It's not fluid. It's clunky. It's going to hurt. There's going to be some speed bumps. We haven't had any, you know, I'm not calling the scratching of Time Houdini or the not being able to race the 3 horses that have to qualify. Those aren't bumps in the road. You know, they look like they're going to fit. You know, Sweet Ambitions, I was concerned wouldn't fit. Certainly alleviated those concerns today. It just feels like summer is coming over here. And it's just like an iceberg in Canada right now, in Ontario. So, you know, I'll be frank with everybody. Everything is on the table right now. Everything is on the table. I had some very frank and serious conversations with my wife about what the rest of the school year is going to look like, what the summer is going to look like, what we should do, what we need to do. I've had some very difficult conversations with people wondering, you know, what about no free lunch? What are we going to do with those horses? We can't race them here. They're not going to get in. And if they did get in, it's only because they're allowing us to get the shit kicked out of us. Yeah, sure, bring them over. We'll put them in the non-winners of 4 in Ohio. They're going 53. Get that into you. Saratoga let our horses in. Buffalo, who said, no, you can't come, called back yesterday to say, if you want to bring some horses, you can. That's an option. It's close to Ontario. If things get real bad, I'm working on the assumption that something will be worked out in Ontario. Do I believe we'll be back racing in Ontario in 10 days? No, I don't at all. I hope we're back racing on May 6th. One thing's for certain, if we are racing on May 6th, stable.ca horses will be ready to go, every single one of them. 1 or 2 hard training trips at Mohawk, which they're going to have to open up Mohawk before they start racing. It's not like they're going to open up Ontario May 6th and not just start drawing cards, you know, May 7th. It's not likely. The OSS will just start immediately. So thankfully and luckily, Harry had no free lunch at 2-2, right? We had most of our horses ready to go. Now it's just keeping them sharp, keeping them trained up, cutting them loose. My biggest problem right now, we got a couple of fillies. Keystone Raven cut the line. I decided we were going to sell them. Where? Where are we going to sell them? There's not an abundance of people out there trying to buy Ontario sired horses right now, as you can imagine. So, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet a little bit on a couple of these horses, for a little bit anyway. Nothing is perfect right now. I'm trying my best to plan, but literally walking around in the dark. And I think this week was pretty clear that most of the choices we made were right choices. Whether it be Jason coming over early, whether it be us sending our horses over. Good week. GW Chrome come back swinging. Fox Valley Britska was good. Captain's Mate, Pennsylvania was great. Sweet Ambitions was great today. A week of some highlights. Some lows also. So I do appreciate the patience. I know everybody is just really tense. Everybody is tense trying to figure out what we're going to do and what's going on. And I'm doing my very, very best to cobble everything together as quickly and as smoothly as I can. But it looks like we're going in the right direction. I can't speak for Ontario. As I said, you know as much as I do. You guys know as much as you get the same news reports, or you can find them the same as I can. Cases went up again today. They're going to continue to rise probably for a week. What's that look like? What's that look like in 3 weeks? Who knows? I don't know, but I hope for the best. We all want to get back racing. We all want to do it in a safe way, but I can tell you one thing. Ontario is going to be a ghost town when they start up. I posted that thing yesterday telling everybody that I got my vaccination. And I was flooded with calls from people I haven't heard from in a long time. People I didn't know. People I don't know. Asking me how I get into the States and how could they get vaccinated also. I said, I get in on a B1. We have horses we're racing here. I know not everybody, I don't think you can just show up to the border and say, hey, I saw a guy on Facebook got a vaccination, I'd like one too. That's not going to work. So, what's Ontario going to look like? I know I don't want to name names, but I've been contacted by at least 5 trainers saying, how tough is it to get across the border? And I think I'm going to Yonkers, or I think I'm going to Saratoga if I can get in. I think I'm going to Tioga when it starts. I might leave early. I think I'm going here. I think I'm going there. I don't know what Ontario is going to look like, and I feel terrible for Jim Lawson, Jessica Buckley. They're going to be tough. It's going to be tough to fill cards. Very, very, very tough. Ian Fleming, Sherry Gorbatin, these are people that are race secretaries that are going to have long sleepless nights when they start racing, because it is going to be very, very difficult to fill cards in Ontario. So, today, yesterday was a little difficult, a little tough for us. No luck yesterday. Got my vaccine. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, I don't know if the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is in. I don't think it's in Canada yet. Who knows with Justin Trudeau. But my arm doesn't hurt at all today. So, one and done. And my arm doesn't hurt at all. So, please, for any of you guys out there, I'm not going to push my beliefs on anybody, but please think about getting vaccinated. I never had a headache. I never had any symptoms of any kind. None. My arm didn't even hurt. And to know that at least I'm trying to keep myself safe, my family safe, and play the part is important. So, for those of you out there that are concerned, have any alleviations, are concerned that somehow you're going to turn into a zombie, or your arm's going to fall off, or your hair is going to turn gray or blue, 0 side effects. I'm now 24 plus 30 hours in to my Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and absolutely no side effects to talk of. So, I truly appreciate the space a lot of people are giving me. I know you have a million questions. Please don't hesitate to send them. I will get to them. And if I can answer them, I'll be happy to. So keep the questions coming. Don't be scared to ask them. I know a lot of people are weighted, get a little frustrated with Ontario. I get it. I live there. But at the same time, we're just trying to get through this. So anyway, it is 5:45 in the afternoon on, what day is today? Thursday. Yes, Thursday. It's Friday. It's Friday today. 5:45 on Friday. The plan for me is to race Saturday. We got Gray as the New Red, and the other filly, well and down, racing tomorrow in the first leg, I believe, of the Iron Maiden Series at Northfield Park. Sunday I'm going to race Oso Pine, and I believe Sunday, right after the race, I'm going to head home. I can be home by 1:30 in the morning if I leave immediately after the race. See my wife and kids. The reason I want to come home on Sunday is because I believe I have to come back on Wednesday night. I want to potentially race Holy Chick. I want to drive her. I don't want to drive GW Chrome and Mama Knows Best. Luke Ebersol went with them both. One, he won with GW Chrome. Two, he qualified. Mama knows best. He did a great job. I don't need to go with them. I told Jason to list him back. I just get too much going on to have Jason relying on me to be a driver. Keep in mind, I have a family. I'm doing the best I can for everybody. First and foremost, them. Luke did a great job, so he can stay on them. Holy Chick, I'll try and make it over for Wednesday evening to drive Holy Chick. After Holy Chick, Thursday's a big morning. I'm in the back of this trailer is One My Heart Hanover and the Glare AM. Glare AM was sick. One My Heart Hanover lost a shoe, but Tim is away next week because the Meadows is off. No racing at the Meadows next week, so Tim took his family away. Good for him. I said to Tim, why don't we take those fillies down to Northfield then? We can school them at Northfield. Make sure they're tight and healthy and ready to go when the final of whatever that stake is next Thursday is drawn out. So that's the plan for those two. I'm going to train them up, school them up. So I want to be here Thursday, qualify White Tiger, school the Glare AM, school One My Heart Hanover, make sure they're ready to go for the following week. So I'll be here. Don't tell Amy yet. I told her the duration. I'll be here back in Ohio next Thursday. I'll be staying for 1 full week. And then after that, I'm going to start putting stuff in stone, both for my family and the stable. So I don't want to elaborate on that too much yet. I told you guys a little bit of it, but with so much floating around and really so little information to go on, I just have to be very careful what I say and how I say it. So for those of you that are members of the Sweet Ambitions crew, congratulations. She raced absolutely out of her skin today. She raced like a monster today. Where that came from, I have no idea, but it just goes to show you never, ever, ever know. So congratulations to you, to the people that are in the Braemar group. That horse raced great today. 53-1 in his first start off the shelf. First start as a sophomore. Last quarter in 28 apiece. He raced phenomenally. He'll be back, I guess, 2 weeks. He'll be back at the Meadows. We're going to make a shoeing change. We're going to go from 4 steel to 4 aluminum on him, which I want to keep a close eye on how he's wearing those shoes, just to make sure that he's comfortable in them. But I think he'll go 1 or 2 big miles with those on also. So that is a little update for you guys. I told you I'm going to keep bringing you the updates so you know. Everything I know now, you know. Where we're at, what we're doing, how we're doing it. Next week, Cyrus Blue Chip is going to race. Perfect Record is going to race. The 2 fillies off Broadway Roll, So Admirable, are both qualifying. Jason's barn is getting bigger here in Ohio, and things are heating up here in the United States. Today was a breath of fresh air. So soak it all in. I know I'm going to. I hope you guys had a great day. The weather is great here, and I know it's great in Ontario. So I hope it is great everywhere you are at. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.